Hello, this is Edward, and welcome back to nonaccountant.com. Today, we're going to talk about business canvases and why they're so vital, especially in the startup arena. And even if you're an established business owner, you can take advantage of using a canvas. So we have two types, and the idea is it shouldn't take you forever in a day to create a business plan or create a canvas. So actually, a canvas is counter to the business plan. So usually when we think about business plans, it's a bunch of pages, a bunch of graphs, 30 pages, 100 pages, what have you. And that's not really good if you're in the startup phase. You're wasting a lot of time just writing down things and not being able to quickly test and quickly fail and see what the true problem of your customer segment is. So there is a time for business plans. If you're trying to get SBA funding, you need to submit one. That's one thing. But if you're bootstrapping, you're in the trenches, getting into the startup arena, you don't have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of finances. That's where I would suggest, and actually all startups use a canvas. So we have two types, and I did a video, past video on the business model canvas. And now what I want to do is go into more detail with the lean canvas. So they are very similar. There are only a few key differences, but you will see the layout is very similar. So the business model canvas, what is the difference? It's more strategic, so it has a more broader focus. Okay, and then the lean canvas it's more actionable. It is entrepreneurial focus, and it goes deeper into the true problem of your customer segment, key metrics, and solutions, things you need to do, and we'll look at that shortly. So the lean canvas is again more hands-on, more practical, more so an action plan which you can do now. The business model canvas is like the overall strategic view of your startup or your business. So both are necessary. Both are good tools to take advantage of and use to help you travel through your startup endeavor. So we're going to look at our business model canvas, and if you watch the past video, we go into each of these different areas, but I want to focus in on four main ones. So key partners, key activities, we have key resources on the left, and if we go to the right, we have one called customer relationships. Now, this is the business model canvas. These are real broad categories. So with the lean canvas, what we're going to do, we're going to modify this a little bit, and we're going to make it a little more actionable. So notice how these are changed. Now, instead of the key partners, we're going to look at problems. Then we're going to look at solutions instead of our activities, key metrics, or our resources. And if we go to the right, we see unfair advantage. That's going to take place of our customer relationship. So you'll see everything else on this canvas remains the same. So why is this a powerful tool, and why does it give you more, leverage and control over your startup? First off, you get to see, and again, another way to look at these canvases, they're just one-page business plans. That's all they are. And again, would you rather want to spend one page working on a business plan, getting it done? And usually the startup rule is, 72 hours create a startup, so in 3 days. Or would you like to spend 3 years writing a business plan, probably look at it 0 times after you write it, and then, don't take any type of action because you're overwhelmed? Or would you like something simple? So this is the power of this tool. So we'll look at problems. So we'll do this. Unique value proposition. That's going to drive everything. And to understand the unique value that you're going to give to a customer, obviously you have to understand your customer. So when it comes to the problem, if you look to the left, these are the problems of your customer. So you can write, and it's best to use simple sentences or bullet points to get your idea across. So problem. Why is the problem important? You should spend, and I got this from an investor and a startup thought leader here in Atlanta, KP Reddy. One of his quotes that I love is, you should spend 80% of your time on the problem, only 20% of the time on the solution. And you see how that box is a lot. It's one of the bigger boxes as well. So understanding that problem, that's key. Because solutions will always change. But if you don't really understand, or the tools that you use to provide a solution can change as well. But if you never understand the problem fully, you can never be valuable to that customer segment. So that's why that's key. Solution. So now you can write down what are some of the things you will provide. Is it online training? Is it face to face? Is it an app? What have you? Key metrics. So in order to track your progress, and this can be different depending on what industry or what type of startup or business you have. So a key metric could be, one thing you want to track is customer acquisition costs. We did a video on that. You know, it could be something like your gross profit. It can be conversions. It could be client satisfaction from surveys. Just anything that you really need to track to see that you're being successful so that you can, you know, deliver this unique value to this customer and solve their problem. That's something you need to track. So instead of getting bogged down, and you know, my background is accounting and finance, so instead of just getting boggled down with the financial statements, understanding what are the key metrics that are driving these financials, or what are the key things that are affecting the profitability, cash flow, equity, the value of your business. So that's one thing you want to be aware of. And then your unfair advantage. And this is specific to you as an individual. What is something that you have that no one has, or it's hard for other people to take advantage of? You know, something that's natural, easy to you, that aids in creating that unique value proposition and solving that problem for that customer segment. So now it's just like the business model canvas. We have our channels, and channels are just how will you deliver this value to this customer. So are you going to do it through a website, through a store? It could be an app, you know. So how are you going to deliver that to them? Because that unique value is not just going to grow legs and walk over to your customer and they're not just going to pay you. You have to have a channel to deliver that value, and also a channel to get paid for the value you give to that customer segment. Okay, so our final 2 points, cost structure. So what are the major things you're going to have to pay for? And then how are you going to charge? What are your revenue streams? What are your different options for making money? Because these are key, because you want to at least understand what you have to pay out, what's going to come in, and at least your break-even point. So how many customers do you need, or how many units do you have to sell in order to break even? That just means to cover your fixed overhead costs, like if you have rent, utilities, website, what have you. So that's a very key metric. And that's going to allow you to find out a good price point for your services. Okay, and it's going to help you also see how you can streamline and optimize different costs as well. So this is the Lean Canvas. And again, this is something you can do. Again, you want to back it up with customer research, understanding, you know, who you're trying to solve the problem for, going out, finding those people, asking them what are pain points, finding a solution, and then you can build out your Lean Canvas. So don't sleep on the business model canvas. It still has a place. It's just more broad, more strategic, more big picture. But if you want something that you can use that's going to give you like that to go out and give you that I want to say like that actionable plan, that is where the Lean Canvas will come into play. So something that you can do, something, 2 simple things you can do, and it's going to really change the way you look at business. Because again, you don't want to spend all this money, and you don't want to spend a lot of time when you're just testing out phases. And one of the misconceptions is, if we have capital, meaning if we have the investment, if we have money, everything will be fine. And, you know, of course, you do need capital. You do need funds coming in to run your business. But a lot of times you're at a better, you're at an advantage when you have those financial constraints, when you know, hey, I can't blow this money, or, you know, I don't have a lot of funds, so I have to get a little more creative to figure out how can I solve this problem, how can I market it, how can I, you know, test it real quickly, because I don't have the money to waste, and you certainly do not have the time. So I hope this video was helpful. You know, you can find these online. Just search Business Model Canvas or Lean Canvas. If you have any questions, would like to know how to build these out, the program I worked with for startup innovation, this is what we use to help the different students understand how to build that structure. So if a child can get this, if a student can get this, you certainly can use it as well, and amplify what you're doing or enhance your business. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you're unclear about these different areas on the business model canvas and the lean canvas, I'm here to help. All right. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And again, don't take 3 years to do this. Just take 3 days. Take care.